All right, so National Proposal Day, or Valentine's Day, is actually right around the corner. And while diamonds, we know, are a girl's best friend, us fellas, we need to know the difference between diamonds and limons. So we have here with us this morning Danny Shaftel with Shaftel Diamonds. He brought some bling here to the studio this morning to explain the difference between real and fake. So good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
So, yeah, you say real and fake, and that's kind of true, but kind of not, because lab-grown diamonds are actually chemically diamonds. So the difference is lab-grown diamonds are grown in a factory where natural diamonds, of course, are pulled from the earth. So you've got these giant machines, right? And it's a whole other conversation, but these giant machines that use a ton of energy to produce one diamond at a time. So they're able to do that in a way that is becoming more and more efficient and just cheaper and cheaper. So now you can buy a big diamond that looks like a diamond, feels like a diamond, smells like a diamond, right? But is a fraction of the price. So that is the huge benefit of lab-grown diamonds, and that's why so many people are shifting from natural to lab-grown, and that industry is just kind of taken off. It's kind of what I compare it to the fast fashion of the diamond industry.
So for fellas that may be watching, they need to buy a rock. They're still trying to figure out what they're buying ahead of Valentine's Day. What are the trends right now for people?
Well, you know, engagement ring styles do kind of trend. So, you know, she may have some input as far as what style she likes, and then it may be up to him, or, you know, a lot of times now it's a conversation that the couples have together, you know, what that diamond is going to be, kind of even what the budgets are, and, you know, it's less of a, I feel like it's less of a pure surprise these days than it is kind of a collective decision.
Okay. So looking at these, I'll be honest, I really don't know the difference between lab-grown and actual authentic diamonds. So show me which ones, what are the difference? So should I pick one out and then tell you what I think is real?
Sure. It's going to be a pure guess.
All right. Hopefully my future wife is not watching and won't hate me for picking out a lab-grown one. Is this one right here? This one looks real?
So that is actually natural.
Okay, I have the eye for it.
You do. That's lab-grown.
Okay.
Now that's going to get more expensive for you. Just be careful.
Okay.
So, lab-grown, natural. So the difference, as I say, can only be seen in a specific machine. You know, something that you put the diamond in, run it, you know. You can tell by the way it reacts, natural versus lab-grown. Now, they're cheaper, but there is a real cost to lab-grown diamonds, and people don't talk about this as much, but to produce one 1-carat lab-grown diamond in a factory takes about the equivalent of 10 to 30 days of the average U.S. household consumption. So it's a ton of energy. So environmentally, it's not necessarily more eco-friendly. And, you know, natural diamonds are mined in places where these communities need that money, right? And they rely on this mining as their main source of survival.
So I mean, realistically, if you're someone you're trying to be a little bit more cost-effective, it's not a bad thing in a sense to buy a lab-grown diamond?
Right. Just be aware that everything that is cheaper does have a hidden cost, right?
Yeah.
However, it still provides, you know, the average person now with the ability to buy that diamond that is bigger, prettier, for a lot less money. So cost benefit.
Fellas going out buying a diamond this year, anything they need to know, what should they keep in mind as they head to their local jeweler?
You know, do your homework. I would say the main thing, find that reputable jeweler, somebody that you connect with, somebody that you trust. You know, if you can avoid that big box retail jeweler and get a better deal, you know, especially in a city like Houston, there are plenty of options. You know, find that independent, you know, family-owned jewelry store. Might be a little biased, but you'll get better service, a better deal, and you know, they're going to just pay more attention, right? They're gonna have your best interest in mind. So start with a reputable store, and then do your homework. You know, check around. You should always check around for an important purchase, but know who you're dealing with and know what you're buying.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for all of your expertise, fellas. If you're planning a proposal, you got all the information you need to know. We always got you covered with everything in your life. All right.